Hi, Chuck at Landscape Express. I'm going to do a little video today on polymeric joint sand application. Just a quick how to do it the right ways, wrong ways. Some guys use stone dust. That's a no-no. You're spending money on a concrete paver or even a city hall brick paver. You don't want to have maintenance on it, meaning pulling weeds, watching the anthills grow through your pavers. Polymeric joint sand is the way to go. We carry Alliance. We're doing it on a nickel lock display. One of the pavers we sell here at Landscape Express. It's got to be dry. That's the most important part. You can do it almost any time of year. You don't want to do it in the dead of winter. It's fall right now. It's a beautiful day. Everything's dry. That's the most important part. You don't want to flood it with water. That's another important part. We're going to just pour some out into the joints, sweep them in. I'll show you how to do it. We're going to blow it off with a leaf blower to get the excess off so it's not sticking to your pavers like sandpaper. I'll do it in a couple segments so you can follow along real easy from a contractor, the right way and wrong way to do it, to a homeowner. Right? So I'm going to grab some polymeric joint sand. I'm using slate gray. These are dark pavers. I want to go with kind of a dark color. We just dump it in. You want to go a little heavy because you're going to sweep it in. And we did kind of a raised patio where we use freestanding wall on it. So when you get near the cap of the wall, you're going to fill those joints a little more. The gaps are going to open up more. You don't want to breathe this in either. The wind's working with me here, so I'm not really dealing with it. But it's got polymers in it that react with water. So you really don't want to breathe it in your lungs. You got moisture in your lungs, it's not a good idea. But I gotta talk. I can't be wearing a mask while I do this. I'm old school, so I'm dead anyways. Now we're just gonna sweep it in. You want the joints filled satisfactorily. You want it to look good. Again, this ain't rocket science. Sweep it in. Fill the holes. If you ever seen somebody doing this with stone dust, they're there all day long because there's big grits and rocks in the stone dust. They got to keep going back and forth. Although this may cost more than stone dust, the labor, the time that it takes for this material to go through a joint is 10 times faster. I mean, it's effortless. It sweeps right in, nice and easy. Now I'm leaving more on top because typically you're going to go over this with a compactor, a plate compactor. And I suggest using a vinyl mat on it so you're not scuffing up the concrete pavers as you do it. And when you compact it, you're pulling the sand, the washed sand from below the paver, concrete sand, washed sand, sucking it up into the paver and pushing the joint sand down into it, making it an interlocking concrete paver. That's what interlocking means. There's not lugs on it like a jigsaw puzzle to make them interlock. It's the sand coming up from beneath, joint sand coming down the top. Stone dust doesn't do that. When you lay a paver on stone dust, it doesn't really do that. Wash sand's the way to go. I used one bag. This is an 81 square foot area. It's like a 9 by 9. So this is going to give you an idea how much one bag will get you. Again, it's going to fill up more near the cap of this wall because the joints get a little bigger. But that's okay. This will go up to 1 inch. I also sell gator dust, which will do up to 4 inches, 1 inch to 4 inch. That's good for a lot of your natural stone, flagging, where you got 1 inch joints and even bigger. Again, up to 4 inch it will work. It's bigger grit in it. You don't want to use that on this fine, on tight joints, where typically you got an 1/8 of an inch joint, or on like a City Hall paver or something, you got a 1/16 inch joint, or virtually no joint at all. And when I'm done, I'm going to take the leaf blower and blow off all the excess. Not going directly into a joint. I'm doing it at an angle. Use your common sense when you're doing it. You'll understand. You don't want to blow it out of the joint. You just want to go at an angle. Blow it away. Now I'm pretty satisfied with the way these are looking. I'm going to sweep off a lot of this extra, because we're not going to compact that. We set these kind of with the mallet, because it was in a tight area and it's not big square feet. Some spots where you get to a corner, it might start seeping through. That's where you use your know-how. If you're going to put a little caulking in there or something to seal it off, some clear caulking where no one's going to see it, just to block off the joint sand from falling through a hole somewhere. Or when you're building it, put a little mortar in there just to choke off any holes. Guys in the masonry field, they call it choking it off. You fill up a hole. These pavers, this is what they call a Stone Ridge XL. They're bigger, so you have less joints. So you're going to use less anyways than, say, if you're using a 4x8 paver. You got smaller pavers, means more joints per square foot. So you're going to use more. It's pretty quick. Versus stone dust. You'd have to go over this 4 times, because it's going to start seeping in through holes, and where there was a big piece of aggregate stuck in it, and it just takes a lot longer. And over time, that stone dust, the fines will wash away, and dirt's going to get in there, and you're going to be plucking weeds out of this. You want it maintenance free. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're spending the money, so you can sit and enjoy it, not pluck weeds out of it and watch ants growing through it and everything else. It goes a long way. This is 81 square feet. One bag did that. So it's a great investment. When it's done, it's going to be finished, and you don't have to worry about it. You can always keep more if, say, something happens. Say you drop something heavy on it and you cracked it. You're doing work on your car and you dropped your engine block on it. All right, so you got to pluck this out. You can always put more in after. It will repolymerize, meaning it will adhere to the other joint sand. It's awesome. Water just reacts with water, and it's almost like a hard foam is the best way to describe it. It's not like mortar. Mortar's really hard. This will scrape out if you use a tool. So water will go through it somewhat. Now I'm going to just stop this, clean it up, and I'll show you what we do with the leaf blower. Okay, now we talked about putting it in with a broom. Now I'm going to blow off the excess with the leaf blower, whatever kind of leaf blower you got. Don't blow directly into the joint and blow it out. You want to just do it at an angle, blowing all the excess off, so when you spray it, it's not all stuck to the pavers, okay? You just want it in the joints. Again, use common sense. If you blow out too much, stop, fill it back up, then blow it off at a different angle, okay? It's pretty simple. This is where you might want to use a dust mask. It gets nasty. Tell your family to stay away while you're doing it, little kids especially, okay? So I'm going to fire this up and just show you how it's done. I like it. I'm ready to hit it with some water. Regular garden hose. I'm doing it old school because we have no water supply up here, so wait till you see this. I'll be right back. I'm going old school here. I'm like, Fire Marshal Bill, let me show you something. We're doing it with this thing here. You want to use a fine spray, mist, and hit all the polymer on here. Okay, you want to hit all the joints. You don't want to flood it, you just want to get it wet. And this will work. Again, you don't want to soak it. Get it nice and wet. Don't want it flooding and puddling, okay? You got a fine mist on your garden hose, just go over it. Don't keep going over it, just go over it. And then let it dry for about an hour and hour or two on a sunny day. The most important thing, it can't be wet when you put this stuff down. I can't stress enough, it has to be dry when you put this down. Then wet it. Let it dry for an hour or so. Hit it again one final time. You're done. It's good. You can use your patio after that. Okay? So I'm just going to spray this on. This is actually what the firefighters use to fight brush fires. This is like, I don't know, World War II era. It's pretty cool. It will work if you're in a jam, because you don't need a ton of water to make this work. You know, it might take a little bit of work. Maybe this isn't the best one, but it works, you know. I might look a little silly doing it, you know, but it's okay. It works. We're going old school. You get the point. I'm not drenching this thing, okay? You just want to get water in there so these polymers react and do what it has to do. Okay, so I'll finish this up. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You get the drift. Chuck, Landscape Express, New England Native Stone. Come on down here. We got the Alliance Polymeric Joint Sand. Keep it dry. Keep it safe. Wear a dust mask if you need one, if it's windy and stuff, and keep your kids away from it. That's it. Have a great day.